Hello, hello.
Good
It's
morning.
Kathy,
And
Wendy,
Wendy. And we're here
on
for
this
Friday group coaching.
bright Friday morning, February 8th,
Yes.
2018. We are picking up on our money map work together. You've been
Yes.
coaching me through part of it. It was amazing. Our breakthroughs last week, I should say. Seems like they
Yeah.
happen every day.
They do happen every day.
Yes, and I do have to say the process with tapping into wealth's amazing. Co-hosting this is amazing, and I'm
Mhm.
really looking forward to getting to know you better, getting to know our
Yes.
clients better. We have people that are starting to pay attention because
Yes.
this is really interesting stuff.
It's amazing stuff. It's
It's
amazing stuff.
really, really impactful too. It
Hmm.
makes a difference in the day. I know it has in my life. We
Hmm.
continue to share that together,
Yeah.
and that's why we're doing this Friday morning group call
We want
and
to
mastermind.
share.
Yeah,
We want to spread ripples and spread the love and help
yeah,
us and everyone else that comes to just find that peace, that energy, that just that who they are.
consistency,
Yes.
certainty,
Mm-hmm.
confidence, wholeness,
Their
um,
brilliance,
purpose.
purpose. Yes, all the inspirations and ideas that are inside, and how can we act on them?
And yeah, and let go of the drags and the resistance to that activity,
Yep.
because we're making progress. It is really
Amazing.
powerful, the progress people are making, and the forward movement and consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and people are hungry for it and
Yeah.
need nurturance in it.
Yes. And I think you said a key word, the consciousness. We're going for this consciousness that we haven't lived in the past, that we can live in now so that we can move forward. And yeah, that's key.
Yeah, but somewhere we know we have some baggage.
Lots of baggage. Lots of baggage. I've been carrying it around for too many years, beating myself up too much.
Self-criticism is a really big one.
Oh, and I didn't even
It's a
hear
really
it in
big
my
one.
head. I didn't even know it was there for years.
The tapping into wealth processes, the use of emotional freedom technique, these kinds of supports and conversations make for lasting change in a way that I've
Mhm.
never seen. It
Yeah.
is a culmination of so many things that I've done, and I know you
Right.
too,
Yep.
around health coaching and, for me, child development. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
When Maria Montessori talks about the absorbent mind,
Mm-hmm.
it is true. We just download things as children.
We do. Yep. We absolutely do. We don't even know we're downloading it, but we just suck it all in because that's what we do. That's what we're made to do. We're made to grow and to learn and to, it's just a beautiful
And
thing.
that's why we celebrate. And that is why we
Yes.
always return to this, like, in spite of the suffering, which
Hmm.
we don't shy away from with
Hmm.
these
Right.
processes,
Right.
right?
No,
But
and the
we
opposite. I found it's a way to actually go towards them and embrace them and go through them instead of avoid them.
right, right. So including
Hmm.
the suffering, we celebrate,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is very, very distinct in
That's
this whole process. So we're starting with the money map, which is a really fabulous diagnostic tool with
yeah.
5 areas of the money,
Hmm.
5 areas of money. And there
Yes.
may, sometimes I do think there should be a sixth:
Yeah. What's the six for you?
expenses.
Okay.
We kind of put expenses into income. But
Hmm.
the 5 areas of money, as we use it in the diagnostic tool, the money map right now, which really just opens to more ideas, more connections, more ways to recover these parts of our experience and reprogram ourselves.
Right.
And not just take what was downloaded, but we look at toxic money.
Mm-hmm.
We look at savings.
Mm-hmm. There's debt.
Debt.
There's goals.
Goals.
And income goals.
And income goals.
So income and income goals, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a special way we look at it. And we use this this exploration repeatedly. We look for the emotion.
We do. And the thoughts that go through your head. And the program beliefs that are underneath there that we don't even see. And that's what I was thinking. This money map is the beginning of almost waking up, of becoming more conscious of not just our money, but how we interact in life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that inner communication, that inner communication, it becomes so automatic.
Yeah.
So habitual.
Yep.
So sub-programmed. It's running in the background.
Yeah.
And until you look at savings and ask yourself, what are the words that I'm telling myself?
Right. I've never done that before.
You don't really know. So it's the inner dialogue, the feelings, which are very pure.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one other piece.
Yeah. The program's beliefs.
The message.
The message, those things that that society, our parents, our families, that we were taught, money doesn't grow on trees, or you're too big for your britches, or things like that just get stuck inside of us because we hear them when we're kids, and we don't have enough consciousness and enough ability to sort through all that and say, what do I want to believe? When you're a kid, you can't do that. You take it in.
Bob Proctor tells a story of the stories of the great inner, personal development people, but to take the phrase literally, my ship will come in.
Yeah.
And I think it was Earl Nightingale. Someone lived by the sea and was like, my ship is going to come in
Literally.
and ride around, old enough to think it through. He's like, that ship's not going to be able to get up the hill to my house.
Yeah.
It's this quality of taking things literally and how it actually affects your current life.
Absolutely.
Your adult life from these pieces, and how it gets passed down socially.
Yes. And we're really smart people. We're really brilliant people. And yet these things that if they were presented to us now, we would take them and we would turn them over and look at them, and we'd say, do I really want to believe this? Do I believe this? And we'd either keep it or discard it. But as a kid, you just keep it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this tapping into wealth set of processes is amazing at honoring both.
Yes.
And saying, okay, let's actually talk about that message that's in your head. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Because we don't talk about money much.
We don't even talk about it. And that's one of the things that what this group coaching is providing is a platform just to kind of break down some of that, use our brilliance of intellect, use our capacity to evaluate and rediscover and reinvent, and then dig even deeper into the nervous system where it gets stuck, where it becomes so automatic we don't even know it's there, and change it there.
Yes. Because once it's changed there and it's cleared out of the system, we can bring in the things that we want and that we really do believe. And so it's really powerful to be able to
It's not for the faint of heart.
What's that?
It's not for the faint of heart either.
No, it's not for the faint of heart. Hey, you know what? We are strong.
We're so strong.
And if you're watching this, you're strong too, especially if you stick with us. It's amazing what you can do.
Yeah, it takes a courage just to take an interest in this kind of thing. If you look at our data, like so much of what you could be thinking about, talking about, watching a video about, many people are hungry for more depth, more personal connection, more meaning, more inspiration.
Yep.
And it is the time where we can put this kind of material out and it can find people.
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
I'm going to hand it directly to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is in the open domain, and it is an offering of some really fun and empowering, and like I said, unlike anything I've ever seen in terms of making the connection between so much of my training and my actual body belief.
Yep.
If you want to call it that.
Body belief. Yep. Mind-body connection.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we started on the money map, and we went through 2 of the 5 types of money. So we went through, let's see, what did we go through? We went through savings, and we went through debt. And you had some amazing things come up.
We did savings, we did debt.
Yes. We talked about the capsized boat.
Yes, that was my image, wasn't it? And this week I definitely did feel a little bit underwater. But I'm hanging in there, you know. I really am just
hanging on.
I'm tapping, I'm doing some amazing things, and things are starting to show up.
Yes. Good.
Not just in my life, but in my clients' lives.
It's amazing. The ripples go out.
And I know this is true for you, and this is where we start to see the very empowering personal stories shape up.
Yes, absolutely.
When we go into the celebration, like what has happened since the last time you took this little journey.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So a quick story. One of my clients is really wanting to start a new business and struggling. And he had this aha moment this past week where the phone had been weighing 1,000 pounds. He just couldn't pick up the phone to make phone calls. And we got to a piece of his childhood where he just felt like it was inappropriate to do something. And he was intruding on people. He was bugging people. And when he saw that, his mind and body made the connection to what's going on now. So the next week I talked to him, he's like, I picked up the phone call and made the calls I wanted to make. It wasn't a big deal. I was amazed. I was like, this has been a lifelong thing for him. So to be able to say, I'm going to pick up the phone and make a business call. Personal calls were okay, but a business call, and it flowed. It was amazing. It's going to bring so much more into his life.
Oh yeah.
So, quick story. Yeah. I just love this.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. That's no small feat.
Correct.
You know, that's no small feat.
Right. And it's like he's doing the work. I'm a guide, and he's soaking it in. He's doing the work, and he's changing. He's shifting. So I can't wait to see what happens with his business.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. We're celebrating.
All right. Well, this is turning out to be just a fun-filled Friday morning.
Yeah.
Doing some setup, making the time to condition the mind to move into a space of very simple, very powerful processes and shift deeply. So thank you so much for leading me through the next couple pieces around income. I'm really excited about it. And just kind of like last week, I know I opened it with, I'm a little nervous because it takes courage to look at your...
It does. So it's normal and it's natural to feel nervous. Yeah. It's fine. It's part of the process. And we can use our emotional freedom technique at the end to, just bring the nervous system down, shut down the fight or flight, and start integrating what we do. So every day, every time we will do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the thing that we're going to start with. We're going to start with income. And
Yeah.
so I just want you to write down what you're currently making for income. Um,
And this is kind of where some people work like from their expenses monthly out if they don't know that.
yes.
And we're not looking for tax, you know, like tax.
No. Just basically, what is it that you make? And if you think monthly because your bills go out monthly, then write down your monthly income. Some people think yearly, some people think weekly. Whatever way works for you, we'll extrapolate out a little bit. So, and again, I don't need you to tell me what that number is because we're not looking to share any of that information. We're looking for the feelings underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's difficult to say it. And in one-on-one sessions, when I'm in one-on-one sessions, I do encourage a little vocalization because it kind of
Absolutely.
breaks that silence of like that like taboo of not talking about it in
Right.
one space, but you're not announcing it to the world and you're not,
No, we're not going
yeah.
to announce anybody's personal things to the
And
world.
some people have no problem. They're like, some
Correct.
people want to, you know, some
Mm-hmm.
people want you to know how much they make, and that's its own thing, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, Kathy, I want you wrote down your income.
Yeah,
Yes, you got a
yeah,
number. And so,
yeah.
just tell us what's the feeling, the basic feeling you get when you look at that number.
It's not enough. Absolutely not enough. I know I know where this is going, and that is true for me. It's probably at 6.5. All right, it's a 7.
It's a 7, and
I'm
this is
such a
really
sneak.
typical.
I
This is
always try to
common.
like slide it down. It's
The SUDS number, yes.
I'm really trying to be positive. I'm doing all my tapping, but I am scared.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you there because until you get past certain things, I mean, we've had victories, there's victory, but then there's something else comes up until you can really see that you're getting through it, then yeah, it is scary.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not enough.
It's not enough.
That's so typical. Most people will say it's not enough. It is certainly not enough. So what's running through your head? What's underneath that?
It's not it's like this it's a bad nagging feeling of what if.
Okay. What if?
Yeah, like what if my car breaks down, or what if, what if this doesn't come through, or that detail, or that's more expensive, that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
gotcha. So is that a little bit of fear?
Yes.
Yes. Um, yeah, and
Fear, fear.
yeah.
Yeah, fear.
Anything else that just kind of is floating around in there?
No, that's most of it.
That's a lot. So what if there's some fear
Yeah.
there? Right. Sometimes there's a trauma underneath these things. Like there's a story of a girl who raked her neighbor's yard, and the neighbor went to pay her, and her mother came out and said, no, 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 you are not taking money for that. And she was, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old. And after that time, she always felt a little bit of shame whenever she received money. And so that would be like a little trauma that could be underneath somebody's income. And we would go to that and tap through that, but it's connected. Or if a parent lost a job, there could be a trauma from when you're a child that's connected to income. So yeah, and I encourage you, if anything comes up, any memories, any other thoughts come up, just share them or write them down, because they can really be important to getting to the meat of some of these things and healing them. So and so what usually comes up in our income is very unconscious programming around our value and our worth. So this little girl who raked her yard, she felt so proud of herself and so, fulfilled that she'd done this. And then her mom said, no, you can't take money for that. And then, boy, did that confuse her worth. And so that's what we're really digging for.
Mm-hmm. A specific event.
If there's any specific events, yeah. And we'll, as we go through more modules, we'll find more and more, we'll dig deeper.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we clear these events, then accepting can be more natural in our system. And we can start downloading a new paradigm. So did anything come up?
Oh, well, the thing that came up was a period of time when my family did a lot of moving. In the
Okay.
80s, the housing market kind of took a big dive, and
Yeah.
my parents had 2 houses
Yep.
that they were trying to sell. They were trying to sell both of them
Yeah.
so we could move to California.
Okay.
And there was this year where we just kept moving back and forth from these 2 houses
Oh, gosh.
because the deals kept falling through.
Okay. And how did that make you feel?
Just destabilized.
Yeah. Destabilized. Like you didn't feel secure?
I know that's a grown-up word. That's definitely, I did not use that word when I was 6. Oh, I feel destabilized. If I were, let's see, I would just say, I guess it was more along the lines of, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like confusion.
Confusion, but how old were you?
5, 6,
Oh, okay.
5, 6,
Right.
7.
Did you want to help the situation? Did you want to try to fix it?
Probably.
I know
Just
that's
make
what I
it,
go to. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
well, yeah. What should I do to make it better is
Yeah.
probably the fill in there for sure.
What
Like
should I do? Yeah.
yeah.
So it sounds like you felt kind of unsure about yourself.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could hardly lift anything. We just kept moving furniture. My parents would,
Yeah.
be moving furniture together and struggle
Right.
moving, and I'd be
Right.
like, try to stay out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what did you feel like when you had to try to stay out of the way?
Pretty vulnerable and well, small.
Small. Yeah. Hmm. Isn't that interesting that we're talking about income and small and vulnerable come up?
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's not what we want to hear.
I know, it's so true because I think of income as something you got to muscle for.
Yeah.
When I think income, you got to go out there, you got to give something, you got to make it work. You got to have something of value.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing is you're talking about having something of value. And what we're getting to is that you are something of value. And your value was made small and vulnerable when you were little, when you had to move. Like all the time, you were always moving, trying to sell these 2 houses. And so this decision that your parents made has impacted you, and you feel it now.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Talk about a boat capsizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I did move this year too. This last
Oh,
year.
you did.
Yeah, and I am so like I'm never moving again, but that's probably not true, but
Yeah, but it probably brought up all this stuff.
mhm.
You know, you don't feel good because of what happened in the past. That's wired in.
Yeah.
We're going to rewire that.
And everybody has their story. See, this is where it becomes so fascinating. Like I can feel how personal this is to me, but
Yeah.
I've done this enough with other people to know that it is real it clothes itself in your story.
Yes.
And it's okay to want to shift it.
It is okay to want to shift it. And it's wonderful now we have tools that we can shift it. So
Yeah.
as your coach, I'm promising you that we're going to start shifting this.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done this several times. This particular event, not on my radar. It's just comes up newly.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it happens to me too. I did a process the other day that I'd gone through before, and an old situation came up, but there was something new about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and when those old situations come up, there's just more to work through.
What's amazing is one of the processes we do in tapping into wealth is we'll do a visualization, and sometimes like you'll visualize something and it's really bright and it's strong and everything in there is really just, and as we see the nervous system shift, it might get less, might get dimmer. It might, people might change their position or attitude. And that's what actually happened this week. It was very cool that as I've tapped about this, since that I could see the whole situation just kind of fading. And so it's fading in my nervous system, and it's powerful.
Yeah.
So one of the things.
So income, when I go back to I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I just went back to my income, and I was like, I want that feeling on my income right now, because I can kind of, like, I need energy to do some stuff to make this work.
Yes. Now, when you look at the income and the things we've talked about, is there a bit of like a family thing? Like there's people like us, that this is what happens with people like us?
I think so. I think it was mostly around the ways of it's really hard to get along, and there's just really powerful forces. It was like the economy.
Right, outside forces,
Yeah, there was like just a really big outside force, the economy, and then there was conflict between my parents.
Right. And I'm just taking notes because these are nuggets. These are nuggets of gold that can be gone back to. We're not going to like dig into these today, but they're things that you could go back to and probably will go back to as you keep going through these processes and really dig them out. So we're going to keep going.
Yeah, I call those landmarks. On the money map.
Ooh, I like that. Landmarks on the money map.
Because they really are, it's like we visited the stop income. We looked around for a specific event and we found one.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We've measured it, and then we kind of looked at a little bit more of like the economy and the conflict, and those are like, whoa, okay, we're going deeper.
Yeah.
We're just going to put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it for now. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a
landmark. That's a great analogy. Yeah.
It's a landmark on the money map.
It's definitely a landmark. And what happens with these landmarks with our income is we start seeing where we're pushing back. Our inner programming is pushing back on our value. That's pretty much what we're getting to here. And you can see it just in the surface stories that you've told us, that you're really, pushing back against this inner programming. So great, we're going to move on to income goals. And when we do that, we turn up the heat a little bit. So we're going to make it a little bit more real. But there's a value in doing that. So like if I said, hey, you want to double your income?
Yes.
Yes, of
More
course
than
you said,
yes.
Wendy, there's no way I wouldn't want to double my income, right? And it sounds really good, on pay, and until we put it down on paper, and then we start feeling it. So I want you to take your number that you wrote first, your income number, and I want you to double it and write that number down. And if you're watching this, I want you to do the same thing. So take
Double
your
it.
number and double it. And if doubling it isn't really what you'd love to earn, if it's a little more, a little less, you can shift it, but you want it to trigger you. We're trying to trigger you. I'm trying to trigger you into, I don't like triggering people. This is one of the things that's happened with me in becoming a coach in here, is that I've learned it's okay to trigger people, because then we can find what's underneath, and then we can clear it. So, yeah. So
Yeah,
we want you triggered.
Yeah, okay. The
Mhm.
trigger, encouraging the trigger is actually really empowering, because it's giving people the chance to learn their own scale.
Yes.
Think of it more along the lines of a dimmer light. A trigger light would be like, whoop, switch on, whoa, everything's bright, everything's like activated, you're so in fight or flight nervous system. Or like a dimmer switch, like turn it on a little bit, check into it, don't ignore it.
Right. We don't want to have that really, really bright. So if you said, I want to earn $5 million this year, that's just too big. It's not really going to trigger. It's not reality. We want something that would be real.
Like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Something that actually gives you an inner hit, a body hit.
Yes. Like this could be possible. Huh.
But it's a little scary, or I'm not, that
yeah,
place.
Exactly. That's the place we want to be. So did you come up with a number?
Yeah.
And so like we're saying, there's always the side of it that's like, yes, this is infinitely possible. I can do this. And that's great. We don't want to get rid of that. We don't want to lose that part of us that's really excited and sees possibility. That part we want to keep. But we're getting to the other part that's underneath, that's triggering, saying, maybe I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or it's impossible, or, those are the things that we want to get to. And we want to clear those things. So we're going to the inner skeptic. We're trying to find the inner skeptic and what they have to say. Because the inner skeptic is where we go to battle, right? This inner skeptic will battle us and say, ha, you think you can do that? I don't think so. And here's why, and I've got proof. But that inner skeptic isn't the truth, right? The inner skeptic is like an enemy that's come in to sabotage. And we're going to deal with this inner skeptic and put it in its place. So what's the emotion that got triggered in you as you doubled or changed your income goal, your income?
My inner skeptic is horrible. I don't really like talking about it.
I don't blame you. But that's where we're going. We need to find what that inner skeptic says so we can shut its mouth.
Yeah, and I think that resistance point of like not even wanting to expose it is so human.
It is very human.
And it shows up in so many different ways for people's different personalities. Me, laugh, deflect.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're
but
good
it's,
at it.
People will get pissed. They will run off. They will go to their addictive patterns.
Yep.
They will self-defeat with food.
Yes.
And it's that resistance that keeps it unconscious.
Exactly. This unconscious programming comes up and we feel it.
We feel it.
And then we try to not feel it. And you know, I've been a queen of stuffing my emotions. And that's what I'm doing. I'm saying, I'm listening, I'm hearing this inner voice that's inside of me, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to go there.
No.
But when we can expose something to the light, then it can be transformed. If it stays in the dark, it's just going to sit in the dark and fester.
Well, yeah, and there's this subtle piece around that that resistance battle that
Mm-hmm.
makes a lot of sense, that is almost counterintuitive to not resist and
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah. So what is coming up for you, Kathy, when you look at this new income goal?
I am stupid.
That's just breathing that one in and honoring that.
It's the worst.
It's awful.
And it's the worst. Well, maybe it's not the worst, but it keeps me from earning money.
It is the worst for you.
Or it
at this
has
time.
in the
Right.
past. Let's do our
Right.
hypnotic language because we're brilliant.
This little girl who couldn't help with all these moves, who couldn't lift furniture, who couldn't do anything, she probably felt really stupid.
Yes, I did.
And here it is coming up again when you think about a goal for your income. No wonder you're not reaching this income goal, because every time you think about it, this feeling comes up. Okay, we're going to keep going because we want to get to the tapping.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So this has to do,
Yeah.
this has to do with your inner value. I'm stupid, so I can't make this much money.
I've been working on this one a long time, and I have come really, really far with it. You know, but I didn't see the connection with all the moves and the jostling in my income.
Right. And that's the joy of these processes, is we just keep finding things and making connections. When we make enough connections, it's cleared, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the hope in it.
Well, it's also that like acceptance point, because you not only recover, you like really recover the gift of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
the intelligence of it. I mean,
the intelligence of it, right? But right now,
stupid. Okay.
Right, when we feel the demoralized part of it, we have to stop and we have to acknowledge that and honor that. And we're going to do some tapping to get out there. So I want to just quickly get through the rest of this. But it speaks to the why we don't reach for our goals, really. Why we don't do that, because we feel this. It's like the definition of insanity. Why would I keep trying to do this and doing the same thing over and over again, but it hurts so much, so I'm not going to go there, you know? And so when we clear the feeling and the picture gets faded, we know the nervous system is cleared and we'll keep going. So that was amazing, Kathy. That was really amazing. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing.
Well, I had to defend it first with some really smart talk about it.
But you found it. So we're going to keep going. So I want to just quickly talk about toxic money. We're going to see if you're listening, if you have toxic money, because toxic money can really stop you in your tracks. It can eat up your savings. It can keep you from making money. And toxic money is something is money that you've been in battle over, that you're still in battle over. Maybe it's money that's owed to you, whether it was a divorce, whether it was some medical procedure, hospitalization or something, and there's been a battle over the money around these things. Maybe it's an inheritance and you felt like you didn't get your portion of it. Something happened and there's a battle over money. And just to look inside and see if there's any part of your money situation that feels like battle.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I I don't know if you ever mention this when you talk to people about toxic money, but I kind of like to break the ice a little bit with acknowledging this sort of inherent toxicity that people have around money.
That's good.
Like
Yeah.
we're not, it's kind of programmed that money's a little dirty in general.
It is programmed.
So I just sort of start there with like,
I like
everyone's
that.
going to have that piece of it. So
Yes.
we all can tap down that
hmm
and benefit from it.
Thank you. And I
You
go in
know,
for the kill. I'm sorry.
well, you know
That's a
what,
great piece.
I start with toxic money before I do savings.
Do you?
Yeah, because I do a kind of big sweep, and then I put a landmark in it. Like, okay, we're just
Gotcha.
going to get a measure. Sometimes I just say, "Do you have it?" And they say, "Yeah, 7." Okay, we're going to put a pin in it and move on to savings.
Right. And toxic money is not something everybody has. If you
No,
have it, you know it. You know, it's
you
one of
know
those
it.
things. If you say, since the day that happened, my money situation hasn't been the same. I haven't been able to earn money or whatever. That's like the thing people say in their heads.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah. We
yeah, if
could do
they're,
a whole Friday
oh my
group
gosh,
coaching on toxic money.
we
Yeah,
could.
yeah. And
So
we're rounding on the hour now. We're going to do some tapping.
we're going to do some
Um,
tapping. Yep. So, but that's an overview of toxic money.
yeah.
And like you said, Kathy, money is a toxic thing to talk about. And there's a lot of toxicity in our lives because of our programming and stuff. So, yeah, I'm assuming you all know how to tap. Kathy, I know you know how to tap. And we're just going to start with the eyebrow point and just tap whatever points that you're familiar with and comfortable with. So we're going to voice the negative. And sometimes we don't want to voice the negative, but when you're tapping and you voice the negative, it actually clears. It doesn't get more stuck in there. It clears it. So just, yeah, don't be afraid to say the negative things while we're tapping. I know. So jump in, say your own words, change. You know, I'm going to try to bring in some of the things you said, but yes, let's just start tapping. This is so overwhelming.
This is so overwhelming.
Take a deep breath. And Kathy, while we're starting tapping, I want you to just take that statement, it's overwhelming, and rate it on a SUD scale. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how true is that? 10 being most overwhelming, 0 being not.
6
Okay. So this is
in my solar plexus.
Okay. Keep breathing through this. Every part of my money.
Every part of my money.
It feels so overwhelming.
It feels so overwhelming.
And I'm really feeling it.
And I'm really feeling it.
I'm feeling it in my solar plexus.
Feeling it in my solar plexus.
Feeling it in my heart.
Feeling it in my heart.
All through my body, I'm feeling this.
All through my body, I'm feeling this.
And it feels really heavy.
And it feels heavy.
There's shame in there.
There's shame in there.
And there's stupidity.
And there's stupidity.
And it's so wrong.
And it's so wrong.
It's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
And it's really scary.
And it's really scary.
Take a breath. All this shame in my body.
All this shame in my body.
All this stress in my nervous system.
All this stress in my nervous system.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
No wonder I don't spend a lot of time thinking about money.
No wonder. I don't spend the time I should be doing what I should be doing.
Yeah, no wonder I don't take actions toward making more money.
Yeah. I wonder it's as hard to do as I make it out to be.
Feeling stupid keeps me stuck in my tracks.
Feeling stupid keeps me stuck.
I feel really stuck.
I feel stuck.
I'm stuck.
I'm stuck.
I feel stupid.
I feel stupid.
I feel ashamed.
I feel ashamed.
I feel small.
I feel small.
Maybe I was laughed at.
Maybe I was laughed at. I definitely was laughed at.
And I feel vulnerable.
And I feel vulnerable.
All this guilt.
All this guilt.
God, I'm such a loser.
I'm such a loser.
I'm just a failure.
I'm just a failure.
I can't even help my parents move.
I can't even help them move.
I feel really stupid.
I feel really stupid.
And I'm a failure in money.
And I'm a failure in money.
Somehow this is all connected.
Somehow this is all connected.
And I'm just going to honor how I feel.
And I'm just going to honor how I feel.
This heavy feeling.
This heavy feeling.
This shame.
This shame.
This stupidity.
This stupidity.
And it's stuck in my solar plexus.
And it's stuck in my solar plexus.
Like a pit.
Like a pit.
What if this never changes?
What if this never changes?
This is really awful and scary.
That's such a scary thought.
It is so scary. And I honor everything I'm feeling.
I honor everything I'm feeling.
I've said it to myself 1,000,000 times.
I've said it to myself 1,000,000 times.
I'm stupid and I'm a failure.
I'm stupid. I'm a failure.
I'm shameful.
Weak.
I'm weak.
Useless.
I'm useless. I'm just a burden.
Just a burden. Can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
Can't do anything. Not qualified.
I'm not qualified.
Not valuable.
Not valuable. This is really frustrating.
It's a drag. It hurts.
It really hurts. It's depressing.
I feel it in my body. It hurts.
And I'm disappointed in myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so much disappointment.
I should be doing better.
I should be doing better.
I should make different choices.
I should have a different job. I should be different altogether.
I should be able to figure this out.
I should be able to figure this out.
And it seems like I never do.
No, I never do.
And I just don't get ahead.
I don't get ahead.
So I honor all these dark feelings.
So I honor all these feelings.
I just recognize they're in there.
I just recognize they're in there.
And I've been carrying them around for a long time.
And I have been carrying them around a long time.
Maybe my parents even carried them.
I know my parents carried them.
And I downloaded them.
Yeah, and I downloaded them.
And they've been in my nervous system for so long.
Yep.
And I've made so many mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Some real doozies.
Don't I deserve to yell at myself?
Join the club, everybody. Go ahead. Let's count the ways.
That's right. Oh, if anyone saw these numbers, I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. There's only a couple people that are in the. Whoa. Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna
horrified and mortified.
horrified, mortified.
Oh, if people saw that, they'd see the truth in me.
They'd be right about that.
They'd be right about
They'd
it.
be right. I am so stupid.
I'm not strong enough. I'm just an idiot.
I'm just an idiot.
People would judge me.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh, and I judge myself.
Yeah, I judge myself. Yes, I do.
And I've been telling myself I really deserve to feel all this bad.
Yeah.
And I just honor that.
It's part of me that believes it's true.
Part of me believes that it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm honoring that I believe this.
Yeah.
This belief has been stuck in my nervous system.
Part of me needed to believe this to stay safe.
Absolutely. And I've been torturing myself in a twisted way to stay safe. And I judge myself so harshly.
Yeah.
But I did need to stay safe, and these things served a purpose at the time.
I don't feel safe anymore.
I don't feel safe anymore. I didn't feel safe when I was 5.
Yeah, I didn't feel safe. That's why they're there.
Exactly. So we're bringing them into the light. And we're going to do a little positive round before we go. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to breathe into this. Take a deep breath. I've been really hard on myself.
I've been really hard on myself.
Having all this negative programming.
Having all of this negative programming.
In my money.
In my money.
In my beliefs about myself.
In my beliefs about myself.
Feels like things are disappointing and impossible.
Feels like things are disappointing and impossible.
Maybe the cards are stacked against me.
Maybe the cards are stacked against me.
Maybe I feel like I don't have enough value or worth.
Maybe I feel like I don't have enough value or worth.
I feel powerless.
I feel powerless.
And I feel disappointed in my money.
And I feel disappointed in my money.
And I've carried this around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And I've carried this around all the time in the background.
All the time, 24/7. And I totally honor myself.
And I honor myself.
And I give myself the gift of understanding.
I give myself the gift of understanding.
I'm opening my heart.
I'm opening my heart.
The wisdom of my heart.
The wisdom of my heart.
And I'm just trying to understand this at a higher level.
I'm just trying to understand this at a higher level.
And this is so much more than just money.
And this is so much more than money.
Even though it does affect my money.
Yeah, I do want the money.
Yeah. And I'm giving myself a gift of self-love.
And I'm going to give myself the gift of self-love.
That I do deserve.
That I do deserve.
I deserve happiness.
I deserve happiness.
I deserve to feel safe.
I deserve to feel safe.
I deserve to feel like a grown-up.
I deserve to feel like a grown-up.
And not like a little kid who's scared and confused.
Not like a little kid who's scared and confused.
And I recognize that looking at my money is just a metaphor.
And I recognize looking at my money as a metaphor.
And I'm just going to honor this.
I just honor this again and again.
And I'm going to open myself to healing this now.
I'm going to open myself to healing this now.
I honor who I am and who I have been.
I honor who I am, who I have been.
And I'm becoming more conscious.
And I'm becoming more conscious.
And I'm becoming more compassionate with myself.
I'm becoming more compassionate with myself.
And this is huge.
This is huge.
I'm honoring who I'm becoming.
I'm honoring who I'm becoming.
And I bless my current reality.
And I bless my current reality.
I'm opening to every new possibility.
And I'm opening to every new possibility.
And I commit to holding compassion for myself in my heart.
And I commit to holding compassion for myself in my heart.
Over the next week.
Over the next week.
Recognizing the things I say in my head.
Recognizing the things I say in my head.
And allowing myself to say new things.
And allowing myself to say new things.
I deserve better.
I deserve better.
I deserve more.
I deserve more.
I deserve self-love.
I deserve self-love.
I deserve it.
I deserve it.
Take a nice deep breath. Wow, I can just feel it. Just like, I feel this often when I tap like this, is tingly right through my shoulders and down in my sides.
Yeah, that's where I feel it too. My
Good.
neck just popped as well, which
Yes.
is what it needed an adjustment.
You just adjusted it. Yes.
Amazing.
Awesome. Wow, thanks for scratching the surface and getting deep at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tapping into wealth processes, the money map, the emotional freedom technique, infinitely valuable.
Absolutely.
Infinitely valuable. This
Two true
time,
believers here. Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely. So next week, we're going to move on in the same format, similar format.
Yeah, sort of similar format. We're going to look at our early money paradigm.
We're going to look at the early money paradigm, and I believe we will be having some of our clients arrive and start making themselves seen.
That'd be awesome.
This is an ongoing process because of the power of the recording.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Come back to this. Share it.
Yes, and the dynamic of keeping it alive ongoingly. So it's really fun format. It's an exciting group coaching mastermind, and we're working through the tapping into wealth processes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm Kathy Delamia.
I'm Wendy Fisher.
And we are so delighted to be co-hosting.
Absolutely. Join us every Friday.
Yep. Bye for now.
Bye.